Hey everybody, it's Miranda and Larry. We haven't made a video in a little while, and we've kind of been a little bit off the grid, so we wanted to make a video and let everybody know, like, what's been going on and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Our kids are sleeping is why we're like, kind of being quiet. But
Yeah, but we'll try not to be too quiet because we want you guys to be able to hear. So essentially, everything we were doing, we haven't been. Both been dealing with personal issues that we're going to tell you about. For me, for the last 5 years, it's been extremely painful to eat, and since I got my new teeth, I pretty much wanted to eat everything that I see because it is a little awkward, but it doesn't hurt. And that's the first time in like 5 years that there hasn't been some sort of pain. I wasn't chewing on this side or chewing on this side because vice versa hurt more or less. And with me eating like that, I kind of just got lazy. Got kind of like, I'm eating like shit. I shouldn't worry about what I'm doing in the gym, which has been nothing. Which is not what we want to be doing. Not how.
try to be a little sorry.
Trying to make me be quiet, even though my TV is always louder than this. But
All right, Karen would not agree.
yeah, Karen would not agree. I used to not be able to be louder than the TV.
Oh, he's right there.
TV's not even on. I guess I can't talk. Why don't you talk for a minute?
So for me, on our blog, there's a little bit about it, and a lot of people that know us, like, decently well know about my stuff. But I guess I'll pretend like you don't know anything. When I was, the other day I was like totally trying to remember, 13? When I was 13, I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. And I've like greatly struggled with that for a really long time. Is that?
Sorry, my itchy nose.
And that's way to lighten the mood. But so it's obviously a big deal. And when I was younger, it was way worse. I think just like with puberty and stuff, it was like crazy. I was able to just like use it as an excuse more so. You know.
Yeah.
And if you know me from high school, you probably are like, oh, that's what was wrong. No. Like, but as an adult, like the last 5 years have changed. What?
She was batshit crazy in high school, like, to put it lightly. That's part of the reason why I fell in love with her.
So how crazy are you?
I'm pretty crazy as well.
But so in the last like 5 years, things have greatly, greatly changed for me. I couldn't hold a job. I couldn't go to school. Literally like eating consistently at all was almost impossible. And that's got a lot to do with my past with eating disorders and stuff as well. So kind of with bipolar, what makes it really hard is if stuff gets crazy, like normal stress that the average person has is really hard for me. And like when it's one or two things, it's usually doable, but it kind of snowballs. And before I know it, I'm kind of like in a manic episode, I guess, but it kind of just gets worse and worse. Usually for me, it starts like slowly, like I'm not getting the dishes done, or, you know, like, and then like the next day, oh, I didn't eat for 6 hours. Oh, now the house is a mess. Now I haven't done laundry. Now my homework's not done. Now, like, and it just gets worse and worse. And as that stuff like stacks up, then there's even more stress, obviously, because there's more to be done. so that's a priority in our lives. Like I have to be able to try to keep my moods normal, like above anything, you know? I mean, it's like it jeopardizes taking care of our children, it jeopardizes my own health. It's a big deal. And it's not, I mean, I don't mean to say that like an excuse for things, but definitely money, moving, those are general things like that I will at least have days and days of like trying to get back. So obviously like moving here, like getting tax money and having like extra bills, and I have not been okay for a couple weeks. And it's hard for me to kind of say that, but the first thing that always goes out the door for me is eating. I don't take care of myself. I don't know. I kind of go back to old habits. And it really sucks, but I guess a part of me like feels like if I can not be stressed out about what and when I'm eating and try to concentrate on other things that are more important at that point, maybe that's good. I don't know. It's a hard thing. It's really hard. And so that's kind of, and I know a lot of you like that are on my Facebook have probably seen like weird things and stuff like that. And that's what it's about. I definitely, I tend, like, you know, the last few years I'll have really, I think, months that I do really well. And it's, you know, maybe a couple little things, but for the most part, I'm good. And I tend to get, like, this huge slap with reality. Like, remember, there's still this going on in your brain that's not right, you know? And it's really hard. It's hard for me to accept that, you know, no matter how hard I try and how much I may appear to be able to like hold down life, there's something else going on, and I'm not the average. I had posted something on my Facebook about not being normal, and I feel like that I definitely don't mean normal. Like I realize that there's no normal, but I mean, when I say that, I mean like absence of mental disorder. You know, like just like, you know, like I don't know, like, and I think obviously everybody probably has like some degree of mental disorder. But
my shirt's old, I guess. I didn't know that hole's there.
So, but I wanted to talk about that, and I think it's something that really has a huge impact, obviously, on like fitness and eating and everything. I've always said, like, when people ask me like what is bipolar or like all this stuff, I say that it's like the inability to be consistent. Like, I cannot be consistent. That is my biggest downfall. I can do really, really good, and I can do really, really shitty. Like, there's not much of a middle ground, and it's really hard for me to like stick to something. So that shows, obviously, and I hope that at least these times are going to happen, and I think that as long as we're able to get back to it, like, that's what matters. And hopefully, as we get further in this, maybe the bad parts aren't quite as bad.
That's what I'm hoping for sure.
No, you're fine. I've talked forever.
One thing that I was going to say, like, I'm really good at excuses, like, why I'm doing stuff. I always can rationalize it in my head. And mainly because I'm an overthinker, and I'm also, like, just a binge artist. Like, anything that I do to excess. Like, when I used to do drugs, I would do drugs until I thought that if I did one more bit, I'd die. When I would smoke pot, I'd smoke pot till I made myself pass out, which is a lot of pot. when I drink a fifth, like, at least. I just don't do anything. Like, I'm straight up obsessed with e-cigs right now, and that's actually somewhat healthy, but she gets annoyed by it, of course. But, and then with eating, like, the first day my teeth felt good, I was just like, I want to eat something that I fucking love. And then I ate, and I was like, oh, but that's been painful for a long time, and I love that. I'm gonna eat that. I'm gonna eat that. I'm gonna eat that, and it just kind of the same thing, kind of snowball effect. And I'm kind of a bitch when it comes to not getting my own way. So Miranda could have made better choices and ate something different, but she oftentimes lets me have my way because that I'll throw a bitch fit. And that's like hard for me to say because it's really true. So like when I say like I want fucking pizza and she says pizza sounds gross or whatever, I throw a bitch fit until I talk her into getting pizza. Or
and usually not like, by talking, but pouting like a little girl.
Yeah, pouting. I'm a pouter. Or like with anything, like back to the days where I'd smoke pot, I'd ask, she'd say no, I'd pout for 2 hours till she said, just get the fuck out and go get it. And I would go get it.
Like, I love your impressions.
Yeah, I'm not very good at impressions. She usually doesn't sound like that. Usually. But in as much fun as it looks like I'm having, I hate that about myself. That's how I've always been. Like, I've always had problems with overthinking and over rationalizing things, and when I was younger, I had a really bad problem with anger, and now I deal with it with just like holding it all in until I blow up, and Miranda's usually the blunt of it. But
it's only fair.
It's not fair.
Well, it's like
she does the same thing. It goes back and forth.
Except I don't hold it in.
No.
it just
yeah, that's pretty true. But
I'm very good at expressing myself.
But honestly, I keep losing my train of thought because it's so weird that I have fucking teeth, and this is
our first video with teeth.
Yeah, it's our first video with my teeth, and
don't they look awesome? Yay! I feel like our smiles almost match
a little bit.
It's cool,
but yeah, that kind of sums up what we've been going through. I mean, everybody has their own personal problems, and you have to get through it. And that's what we've been realizing these last couple of days, that we've just been douchebags towards ourselves. Is essentially what it is. Mm-hmm. We're not helping ourselves get to where we want to be.
Yeah.
I've had like no motivation, and then like I'm just thinking about it, and none of my motivation that I had 2-3 weeks ago is gone. I just haven't been using it. All the reasons why I want to be healthy and why I want to do the things that I should be doing for my family are still there. I still need to lose weight and get healthy, and I still want to lose weight so I can start building on that muscle so I can put the Rock to shame. Which probably won't happen for a while, but
maybe when he's like an old man and you've got like age on your side or something.
Yeah. But yeah, I won't go into the Rock. I won't go into the Rock. I can talk about the Rock forever. But yeah, I don't know why I haven't been applying my motivation. Why why I've been feeling like I have been, why I've been doing it, but I know it needs to stop. And like tomorrow, I'm gonna start working out again and eating healthier. I I can't say that I'm gonna have the strictest diet right away, even though I know that's what I should do. Oh, excuse me. I almost said sorry, Sheik. Um, but I'm tired and
Don't worry, nobody knows what you're talking about. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
It's a video on YouTube that I watch. Grim Green. He always apologizes when he burps, and it pops in my head, and I completely lost where I was going. But it's a really long video, so I'm gonna let her finish up whatever she has to say.
Yeah, but we wanted to talk to you guys and make sure you guys all know we're not just like, I mean, we're off the wagon, I guess, but we're not off the wagon. Like, we're still there. We still have the motivation and stuff. We just have been having a hard time, and that's the reality. So we wanted to show you guys what's going on, and I'm sure all of you have had these moments. And I always, if anybody has like questions or anything about bipolar, you totally ask. Like, people are always weird about it and don't know, like, don't want to talk about it or whatever, but I'm obviously an open book about it. There's nothing to hide. So, dun dun dun. Okay. Thanks, guys. We will be back next week and definitely on our stuff. Bye.
Yeah.